Hi, it's Sharon Henderson again from KEM Biz in a Box. Last time I spoke about my journey towards the launch of KEM Business in a Box and what had drawn me to go down this path. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about what motivates me to want to support others on this journey. And I thought it might be helpful to share my experience creating my own store and creating my own designs. So basically what happened was I really enjoyed designing, loved playing with Illustrator and Photoshop and just letting my creative juices flow. And that's basically what I did. I spent a good year, actually, I'd say, exploring the different tools and software that I could integrate into my store. And I also researched the best print-on-demand companies to use. But by far and away, the largest amount of time was spent creating designs because it was so much fun. What I was thinking that I needed to do was completely fill up my store, chocker full of designs so that it looked nice and full to customers. And so I just designed and designed and I designed whatever I felt like I created. And that way I had as big a selection as possible for men, for women, for kids, for babies, relations, you name it. I created designs to put on apparel to sell in my store. What I realized that I hadn't done was carry out any research and find out whether people would actually like my designs. I think I fell into a pitfall that a lot of people fall into, which is designing what you like yourself. And what I wasn't really realizing was that I was then going to put these in the store for other people, not me. I wasn't going to be buying these items of apparel. And I knew this on a subconscious level for a while, but I just kept going thinking when it comes to it, once I launch, people are going to love my stuff and they're just going to buy it and everything's going to be fine. And I was really operating in a vacuum. I had no direction, I had no guidance, and I had no idea what the market was actually going to say and respond to when they saw my designs and whether I was going to get any sales, which was ultimately what this whole exercise was about. And that was because I hadn't done any market research and I hadn't tested the market. So I thought I was almost ready to launch the store, and so I showed my designs to a friend, and she told me what I didn't want to hear but what in my heart I already knew, and that was that I needed to stop designing whatever I wanted, and I needed to be more strategic. There was absolutely no point keep designing and designing without knowing whether people were going to like what I was doing or not. So I really had gone about it the wrong way around. And so what my friends said was, well, what you need to do is focus on a niche or a micro niche, because I had general designs, just whatever I liked. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll do some New Zealand designs as well. And I also had kids art on apparel too. And so what I had to do was make a decision, niche down, because otherwise it was going to be absolutely impossible to market them. Once I got to a point where I was exploring marketing, what I realized was that every single design was going to need its own Facebook campaign. And then within that campaign, it was going to need a number of ad sets with split testing to see which creatives worked and which didn't. So when you look at a number of ads per campaign, per design, and you do the maths, that is a lot of Facebook ads and a lot of money. And as a startup, this really wasn't the way that I wanted to be going about it, not when I had so many different designs in so many different niches. So I had to make a decision what was a product range that I was going to focus on. And I made the decision that I'd focus on New Zealand designs and that I was going to narrow it down and focus on one or two designs at a time and market those and see how things went. But when I think about how many months and months I spent on this design process, time that could have been better spent in so many different ways and could have resulted in the launch of my site so much faster than the time frame that I ended up following. I wish I'd done things differently. In hindsight, I would have done things so much differently. And really, I'd done everything back to front. But I know that I'm not alone in that. I think it's a really, really common mistake that designers make. And so what I had to really think about was the customer, not me. And in a way, it was really beneficial because it meant that I had this learning curve that I'd gone through that I could share with my customers who bought stores, and I could make sure that they didn't make the same mistakes that I made. So that's been the takeaway. That's been the real positive that's come out of all of this. So anyway, my store was launched, and really by fluke, I managed to sell products without even actively marketing. And yeah, complete fluke. And I think it was my New Zealand designs that sold. So it was quite fortuitous, really, that when I looked at it, it was exactly the niche that I had suspected that would be most successful, that was successful. But I really wouldn't recommend going about it this way. You don't want to leave these things to luck. You want to be strategic about it. And I guess for me, being an active blogger and having worked hard to raise my social media profile, all of that work had paid off. And yeah, I did start to make sales. But in order to really grow as a store, I knew that I needed to be strategic. And yeah, when I look back on it, yes, I made mistakes. Yes, I would have done things differently. But going through this process personally means that I can make sure that my KM Business in a Box customers do things differently, do things the right way, right from the very start. So what we do as part of our wraparound services for our store owners, we offer a niche design consultation process where we meet with the client and we brainstorm and nut out, figure out what is the niche or micro niche they want to focus on. And that might not be apparent to begin with, but we have our ways of really figuring out and getting you to really figure out what it is that you want to focus on. And once we've done that, we get our team to research what are the best sellers in that niche. Because there's no point having a niche and thinking, okay, I'll just do designs in this area. What we need to do is find out, okay, what are the type of designs that are selling really well? So our team will do that research, and then we'll come back to the customer and we'll show them the sort of things that design well, that sell well. If you are a designer yourself, then you know the sorts of things to start designing. Obviously, we can't copy exactly what other people are selling, but you get a good feel for the sort of thing that works, and then you can create your own designs based on that theme. But not all store owners are designers, and in some cases it may be that the types of designs that are selling are quite complex in terms of the skills that you need to create graphic designs. So if that's you, that's not a problem either. What we do then is we get our team of designers to put together design packs so that you can start out with your store with designs and start by selling those and hit the ground running. And you know that because you've done the research, because we've done things the right way around, that you are going to make those sales. So that's basically why I'm so thankful that I went through this journey, because it means that you guys don't have to. And it means that as a store owner, we can make sure that you have the smoothest journey towards success.